Alright guys, so I'm getting ready to do something I never thought I was going to do, and that's to paint one of my fruit trees. That of the avocado tree, in fact. Now, this young avocado tree, which isn't looking all that healthy at the moment, has been in the ground for 2 years, and it's just now beginning to flush out some new growth. So all the tips are putting out growth like this. Now, one of the main reasons this avocado has struggled so much is because it's been getting too much sun. And there's a balance that you have to strike, whereas you need appropriate amount of shade for these young trees, but you also need enough sun to create that photosynthesis that's going to help the tree to grow out. And that's why avocado trees do very well with a parent plant, a nice canopy tree overhead, which is going to help to shade it out during its younger years. Once these trees are fully mature, they're much more resilient, much easier to manage, at which point you can cut out the parent tree and let the avocado take over. This bamboo stick is here to actually just hold this tree upright as it tends to lean towards the south, facing the sun. So here's a good example of some avocado trees that are growing, looking nice and healthy, and these were planted by our resident squirrels in the area. They buried a couple avocado pits. You can see there's one there. But these trees are in virtually full shade. They get a very small amount of dappled sun. And we've got 1, 2, 3 different avocado trees growing in here. 2 of them are looking really healthy. Don't know quite what we're going to do with these yet. This was really just an ornamental whiskey barrel that I had some calla lilies in. But these avocados are looking great right here next to the house underneath the overhang, getting lots of shade. So after I'm done painting the tree, the next thing I'm going to do is to protect it by wrapping a shade cloth around the structure here. Right now I'm using burlap. I may switch to something else in the future. But between the paint and the shade cloth that's going to be protecting this tree, that's going to basically mimic what a parent plant would do, helping to protect the tree from too much sun. Another technique that I've employed to help to further protect this tree is I planted this dino tree kale, which I grew from a cutting. And these guys get monstrous, 8 to 10 feet tall. And I've got it on the most southern facing side of the tree. So as this grows up, it's going to help protect that young avocado, especially from the midday sun. And here's an example of a dino tree kale. And of course, if I need to thin out this plant at all, I could just break off a few of the leaves, eat those, and that'll allow a little bit more dappled sun to hit the avocado. So here's the tree paint I opted to go with, and as you can see, it's mainly promoted to protect citrus. Citrus is another tree, as I had mentioned in previous videos, that needs to be protected from the midday sun so it doesn't get sun scald. So paint or wrap will accomplish that. Now this paint is fully biodegradable, non-toxic, so I'm not doing anything that's going to harm the tree. And over time the paint's going to break down, fade away, and hopefully by that time my avocado tree will be full of foliage and it won't need another application. But if it does, it's simple enough to just reapply. So this paint was pretty much the best deal that I could find online. I picked it up on eBay. And I know this is way more paint than I'm ever going to need, but I just couldn't help myself. It was like $16 with shipping for a quart, or $26 with shipping for 4 quarts worth, or a gallon. So hey, I've got enough paint to last me for years and years, and if anyone I know needs any, you know where to get it. And we're going to follow directions here and stir up the paint really well. I also shook the can prior to me filming. You don't want to apply this if you got rain in the forecast in the next 24 hours. And you also don't want to apply if it's too cold, so 50 degrees Fahrenheit or warmer. We're like at 52 degrees right now, so this will work out. And before I get going here, I'm also going to do a little pruning, take a little off the bottom here. And also went around and removed some of the damaged leaves that were on the plant. And yesterday I went ahead and pinched the tip off this plant just above this growth node here. And so by removing that bottom growth and then pinching the top, I'm really helping the plant to emphasize its energy into growing these lateral shoots that are already developed on the plant. Alright, so that's looking good. Let's get to painting. So some of the branches have growth nodes on them and some of them don't. So the ones that I don't see any growth nodes, I'm painting. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Oh, and look, I got a little bit left over. And if you get to it right away, everything cleans up very easily as well. And I've got the whole entire tree wrapped from top to bottom. Well, that about wraps up how to paint a young avocado tree and help to protect it from the sun. So stay tuned, I'll be updating you guys on how things evolve here. Hopefully we end off the year with the tree in much better shape than we started with. I'm also going to be focusing on consistent watering and feeding this young tree. I think that's going to make all the difference. So with that, I want to thank you guys for watching. Until next time, this is Dan from plantabundance.com. Wishing you all a great rest of your day. I'll be talking to you again soon. Take care.